All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the Alibi pod. What's up?
Second episode, let's go.
You find yourself today looking at my apartment, sitting on my couch with my very nice coffee table. Got it at a thrift store, covered it in stickers, got all kinds of attitude. I'm a big fan of the coffee table.
Yep. All right. Episode 2. Elephant in the room. I got a haircut.
It's not really an elephant. I don't feel like it's an elephant in the room because in the last episode you were wearing a hat.
Yeah, I know, but I said I would have a hair reveal, and then I got a haircut before the hair reveal.
So it's not even the same.
Also, did you see the Sketch apology?
No. What?
Remember when Sketch did the apology for all that?
Okay.
You know about the Sketch?
I remember Sketch making an apology video.
Well, he started it with elephant in the room. I got a haircut.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. Okay.
So no apologies today. I didn't do anything bad.
So it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
That I didn't get.
I got a haircut, but yeah, this is my hair reveal. Very fun. This is the second episode though, and we have our opportunity to change all the things that we did poorly in the first episode.
Hopefully it's better. So clean.
Ella was complaining about my foot tapping, so I'm gonna try not to tap my foot so much.
It's true.
Also, regarding the first episode, I should probably apologize to Bridgefit and NF. Kind of caught some strays. I did not mean anything in a negative way. I love them, but I did kind of make fun of them a little bit, and that's my bad. I love them.
Not that they'll ever know.
Not that they will ever know.
Or care.
But anyway, what's happened since our last episode?
I got a couple of fun stories from last week to cover. So after we recorded the pod, we were still in Branson for a couple days last week.
Right.
And as I was editing the first pod and uploading, the first pod, the process is a little bit more complex than these future pods will be because I had to get everything set up to send it out to all the different distribution services and all that fun stuff.
Right.
So I'm sitting on the couch in our Airbnb in Branson, editing the pod, working on all this stuff. And I paused because I needed a little TikTok break.
Of course.
You always need a little TikTok break. So I opened TikTok.
Yeah, as one does.
And I had over 50 TikToks to watch sent to me by the other two people who were on the couch.
Yeah.
This man, Jonathan.
That was me. Hi.
And my wife, Ella.
Ella be on TikTok a lot too.
Over 50 TikToks to watch. Like, this is friend homework.
And this shows you, like, how much Gabe does work for me and Ella because she and I at the time just had a friend streak because we send each other TikTok videos all the time, and he had 50 TikTok videos stacked up to watch.
Do you remember when we were little and we had, like, FOMO that the older kids or the young adults were just having, like, so much fun after we went to bed?
Yeah, you go to bed and they probably haven't.
And they've got to be having so much fun.
Go to bed, right? Yeah.
I now know that it was true.
It was. They were. They were having fun.
As the grown-ups, as the young adults, I can confirm that it's so much stuff happening after bedtime. Sorry to my younger siblings.
Womp womp.
So at about 10 o'clock, the same wonderful group that went to Silver Dollar City, we went out to get shakes. We went to this milkshake bar in Branson called The Yard Milkshake Bar that Ella had found online. She said, we got to try it. Like, the pictures are great. It looks so awesome. And we were like, heck yeah.
Yep.
We'll go. So we pulled up. We saw the menu. They did look great.
They do look great.
So we went up to order the shakes.
Yep. I went first. I went and I ordered my shake. We don't look at prices here.
I don't know if they even had prices up on the menu.
They had like smaller menus, which we also didn't look at. But we just, we'll get a
saw
shake.
The main flavors and picked one.
Yeah. So I walked up and I ordered my shake, and bro looks at me and he really tells me that it's $21 and some cents.
It's a $20 shake.
What? Okay. I mean, it's just a little under. It's like $19.75 if you paid with cash because of the card processing fee. But $20 for one milkshake.
Ella was for like, my bad.
She was shocked. She didn't realize that, or maybe she did, and she just didn't tell it.
She didn't realize it was so expensive. But these shakes were quite something.
They were, yeah,
I must say.
shakes, yeah.
It's a full shake, right? And then mine came with a full brownie on top of the shake.
Full shake with full
brownie.
brownie.
And then enough whipped cream to double the size of the shake.
It is a lot of whipped cream. Plus it comes with the jar.
And then on top of that, you get to take the jar home. They have over to the side of the restaurant like this jar washing station. It's like these sinks and stuff. So after you finish your shake, you take the jar over there, you rinse it out. They got a little bag for you. It's very clean, very smooth.
Yeah, so $20 is kind of valid. Like, I could see it. Like $7 for the jar, $3 for the brownie, give or take. And is it a $10 shake? Maybe, you know. I'm not mad at it.
People charge more for less.
It's a good experience. You know, it's not like I'm going there every day or every time I want ice cream kind of $20 shake, but it's like, I'm glad I went, good experience kind of $20 shake. You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah.
Still solid. Definitely solid.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then also this week, since the last pod, I made a video.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's a promo video for an event that I'm working on marketing. I had a lot of fun with it. So I really had a vision to jump into the pool with a guitar.
It doesn't sound right, actually.
I was like, this is going to be cool.
It sounds
and so
painful.
I didn't want to take any of my guitars to do this, obviously, or any of your guitars or our dad's guitars. No way. I wanted to find like just a crappy trash guitar on Marketplace or at a thrift store. So I went to a couple of thrift stores looking for a guitar. I actually found some. I found a guitar that was like in pretty awful condition. Like it was trash.
Not a good guitar.
They wanted $150 for it at the thrift store. I was like, there's no way I'm paying that. I almost gave up on the idea after that because I was like, that's kind of wild.
Thrift stores can be hit and miss. Like sometimes it's something great for really cheap, and sometimes it's like, that is super expensive for this piece. Like, why would anyone pay that much?
Particularly if you go to thrift stores in like richer neighborhoods.
Yeah, when people have more money than sense.
Sometimes.
Anyway.
So I thought I was out of luck, but then I found a guitar for like $40. It was $30 or $40 on Facebook Marketplace. I was
bad.
like, I'll cop that, and it was like an old Adam Levine model First Act guitar.
Adam Levine has a model.
Apparently,
I didn't realize that.
Guitar model, simple, nice looking electric. It was probably in better condition actually than the one that I found at the thrift store for $150. So we go to meet this guy at Quick Trip. This guy who's selling the guitar. We go to meet him at Quick Trip, and he pulls up in this white Chevy van that no windows, like. This is legit, like kind of like the old Ghostbusters van, but legit, like this looked like a kidnapper van, low key. And then he comes and shakes my hand and like walks around in the back of the van. He's like, I got the guitar back here, you know, and I'm like, what's about to happen?
You're just too suspicious of people. That is exactly the kind of person who would have a guitar and be willing to sell it for like $40.
That's accurate.
That's exactly the kind of person that you would expect to have a guitar. That's some sort of like hippie guitar player guy or something. That's some dude. That's just exactly right. There's no reason to be suspicious of that.
Well, you are correct.
When it comes to
my
guitar
wife
players,
was sitting in the car watching me, and she got nervous. She was on like high alert, like.
When it comes to guitar players, suspicious is not suspicious. Like the more weird it is, the more you're like, yeah, this guy.
That sounds about right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it worked out. I got the guitar, and I made the video, and it turned out pretty great, I thought. So I was happy.
Okay, so tell me about this S&P thing on the agenda. What happened today?
Yeah, so this morning, 500? I woke up to shock.
What happened?
The S&P 500 fell. So sad, so tragic.
Why?
Because I don't know why. I don't know why these things happen. Global markets panic on signs U.S. economy is slowing. Monday's drop extended a sell-off that began last week after the jobs report showed significantly slower hiring. The S&P 500 fell about 3 to 7% in early trading.
That's 3.7.
I've got a.
Oh, maybe not.
No, it's 327.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's tragic, right? It's too bad that we don't have tons and tons of money in the stock market. I have a couple
Yes.
grand though, and here's the. I'm not gonna show this to the viewers, but you can see the
Oh,
graph. It's all like this, and then it's just like
yeah,
straight
not
down.
good. Interesting. I
Pretty
didn't know that. I used to
gnarly.
get an email with like Nasdaq and all the S&P and all that. Like
Yeah.
I get like the top 10 or whatever stocks and what just happened with them today, but I don't. I unsubscribed from that particular email newsletter.
That sounds boring. You want to get that every day?
Well, it wasn't
I
just
mean,
that. It was some other like random headlines and stuff, and it was, I mean, interesting, and some of them were cool. But then it was just like, yeah, I keep getting this and not really paying attention to it at this point. But I don't really get news from anywhere. I just listen to what people are saying.
I just saw it because of you get your news from TikTok.
That's right. It's the town hall of 2024. It's just whatever people are saying.
Unregulated
Also,
news.
barbershop chit chat, which is the barbershop chit chat of 2024. Be hearing a lot of hot takes and opinions.
I got another fun topic for you to talk about at the barbershop
What's that?
tomorrow, maybe, or whenever you get back there and get to bring up current events. Blink-182 at Lollapalooza
I didn't know
last
that happened.
night. They were the headliner. They were the final act of Lollapalooza,
Okay.
the whole festival on the main stage. This is the news report or the review in the news that's going around. Cringeworthy and repulsive.
Blink-182.
182's headlining performance was unworthy of closing out this year's Lollapalooza. The set, though filled with lively songs and a highly engaged audience, was filled with all too memorable, odious remarks from the two lead singers, Mark Hoppus and Tom DeLonge. Why are two older men aged 52 and 48 respectively, who have wives and children, making jokes about doing the other's mother? The crude humor may have landed with some, but to continue throughout the hour and 15-minute long set was a bit much. I'm not going to say I'm shocked by this review, but also...
Who wrote that?
Yeah, tell me you don't know who
And they literally
Blink-182
said like it
is
was
without
an
saying you don't.
engaged crowd, is what it said.
There were 100,000 people showed up for Blink-182.
And it sounds like it sounds like they crushed it. You know, everybody in the audience loved
according
it.
to Blink-182 metrics.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it went really well, and apparently that's cringe.
I don't know if you should be this shocked, is what I'm saying to whoever wrote this article. Because,
It does sound pretty stereotypical.
like, this is kind of that's Gen X and the millennials for you. And Blink-182 is a band that's had a long run.
They do their
Like,
thing. Yeah.
from being huge with Gen X and the millennials to now you and I still know the name. Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
I cannot sleep.
All right,
I
we shouldn't do
cannot
this.
dream
we're gonna
tonight.
Be cringe too, Gabe. We're gonna be cringe too if we do that.
That's true. The millennials all were singing along, though, when I did that right then. I knew all the words. What else is happening in the world today?
Now, speaking of cringe, I just saw this video about Dax on YouTube.
Dax the rapper?
Dax the rapper. And I don't know, apparently, I didn't know this. Maybe I was just not in the YouTube rap scene at the time as much, or at least not paying as much attention other than just listening to some stuff occasionally, like on SoundCloud. But apparently he did some shady things, like as far as features and stuff and connections with other artists. And there was like a whole expose and stuff, but the video just made me think about what is the line between cringe and cool. Like, when does it stop being cool and start being cringe, and vice versa, right? Because Dax has been widely considered cringe, you know? And you think of other artists like, what was it that made Dax cringe, but Eminem was cool, you know?
Right.
And what was it that makes MGK cringe, you know? And what is it that makes
That's a topic for another day.
Blink-182 cringe versus making Blink-182 cool, you know? Because it's just, I don't know, it feels so arbitrary. And it's not even based on success anymore. Like, it feels
I think it's pretty clear that the person who wrote the article would say it was the crude jokes that made Blink-182 cringe. But also, the largest movie in the world right now, Deadpool and Wolverine,
That's a lot
also
of crude
just
jokes.
broke the record for biggest box office
I saw that.
for a rated R movie, taking the record that's
From
been
Passion
held
of
for
the
a
Christ?
long time
Like
by the
20
Passion
years.
of the Christ.
Yeah, I just saw that too. Yeah. Interesting. I was surprised that it was Passion of the Christ. Like, there's a lot of rated R movies that come out. Like, it seems like anytime I look through movies to watch, freaking everything is rated R. And
Well,
apparently
but
that was the
since
highest
like
grossing.
2020, rated R movies a lot of times didn't have the theatrical run that they could. Or they like the ones that did would be like horror movies, and horror movies don't have quite so much like universal appeal. Because like the biggest ones like Avatar, the Avengers movies, they all sat pretty comfortably at that PG-13.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like there's rated R movies that had like a big theatric release and all that. Like Oppenheimer was a lot of hype, and that was rated R.
Yeah,
And there
but
has
it didn't
been a
even
lot of
do as
stuff.
good as like Barbie did, and they were kind of leeching off of each other.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it's hard for rated R movies, which is weird because there's so many of them. Like, literally everything. I don't understand what works and what doesn't, though, I guess. Kind of weird like that. But I guess maybe also Passion of the Christ was bigger than I knew because I wasn't, paying attention when the Passion of the Christ came out.
What year did that come out? Were we even born?
I don't know. I don't know what year it came out, but I didn't like that movie very much.
No, it's sad.
It's not only
scary.
sad and a little bit creepy and weird, and a bunch of unrelated to the story stuff happens, but like, and I've said this before, but the fact that it's just the 24 hours before the crucifixion is like you don't get any time to connect with Jesus as a character in this film. Like, as the viewer, you're just watching some random guy get brutalized and killed. Like, it doesn't.
Well, I
hit
think
as
they're
different.
counting on you to have the buy-in of already being like, oh, I know who Jesus is and I think he's cool.
Well,
But
yeah,
also-
but like Jim Caviezel as Jesus.
I was about to
Just- it
say, hot
doesn't-
take, Jim Caviezel is not that great.
Well, I don't know. Jim Caviezel is fine. I've seen 2 Jim Caviezel movies, and
I didn't like either of them.
well, I didn't love either of them, but he did a good job in both of them. Like, it wasn't because of him that I didn't like them. I've never seen him and been like, that was not a good performance.
I guess that's fine.
Maybe
I
he just
have,
needs to
though.
do a
I don't
better
like him.
job picking movies, Just be better Jim Caviezel, or be better Jim Caviezel's agent. But did you watch any more Olympics since we watched the Olympics together?
No. That was last night.
That was last.
I've
I mean,
not
I don't know
watched-
what you've done today. Did you watch?
It's
any
almost
Olympics
guaranteed that
before
my
then?
wife is in the other room watching Olympics right now.
She probably is. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Olympics before then. I've been watching like the day recaps on like NBC or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know what events are even happening. Again, getting my news from TikTok, so whatever goes viral, I guess, like that
It's
Turkish shooter.
yeah,
guy.
the shooter guy.
Click, boom. Everybody.
I saw a thing. Apparently, he wiped his fingerprints off the gun afterwards, and they're like, oh, he just did it out of habit.
out of habit, just like when he closed his eyes. In case anybody doesn't know, which I'm sure everybody should know, there was this Turkish dude in like the pistol shooting event in the Olympics, air pistol, who got a silver medal, but he didn't have any of the fancy equipment or whatever. He just had like his regular glasses and some earplugs, and he just pointed the gun, other hand in his pocket, and absolutely crushed it. Like, did super great.
Took
And
silver.
Took silver. Yeah, everybody was like, wow, this dude is losing on purpose. Like, if he wanted gold, he would have had it. Like, this is, everybody's making jokes about, like, he's some assassin or whatever. Something came out about he has a cat, and somebody said, don't kill this dude's cat, or we're going to get 4 movies out of it. Real life John Wick.
That's gnarly.
And I think everyone agrees the best part of the Olympics is the women's gymnastics.
I was about to say, I know what your favorite.
Shout out to Simone
favorite.
Biles, who is absolutely the GOAT.
She's
Everyone knows
married.
that. That's true. Thank you for pointing out. Gymnasts are hot, bro. These women's gymnasts, they're so hot. I don't know. It's just kind of, they're so.
I think we should move from this
impressively
subject as
good.
fast as possible.
No, bro, they're so good looking. Just it's perfect. Also, like they're driven and committed, and they're like a tier above everybody's petty little lifestyle that we live, us mere mortals. They're clearly like mentally strong.
Okay,
physically
hard
fit.
stop. Next topic. I want to get your live barber reaction to a picture.
What's this?
I'm going to throw it up on the screen for them to see
Okay.
in the audience. But I saw this on Instagram today. Chris Hemsworth posted.
Mm-hmm.
A haircut that he did on his sons.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's really bad. So basically, this is not a haircut. This isn't one of the ones that we have. This is like a mullet, sort of burst fade, but hold the fade. You know, he didn't do anything good. Is this the Chris Hemsworth post you sent to me and unsent?
I unsent it because I wanted to show it to you on the pod.
Yeah, and I was wondering what you meant by where it went. Like, I saw it and then like it was gone. I was like, what's going on? But I didn't pursue the matter. So I guess I'm glad I didn't. But no, that's not a haircut. That's really bad. That's cringe, is what that is.
That's cringe.
That's cringe. That's the real cringe. That's the real cringe. Speaking of which, do you think there will be another Thor movie? Do you think Thor's coming back? Because Chris Hemsworth said he would be down to play Thor. And I saw something, I don't know if it was real or not, but he said something like they didn't take it seriously and he was playing a caricature and they went too far with the latest one. I don't know.
I definitely agree with that take. That they went too far.
I don't know if
it was not good.
Not,
yeah, I saw the interview. He did say that.
So do you think they'll come back? I mean, I would love to see a fifth Thor movie that, you know, is good, you know?
I've seen some, like, fan art for it and stuff. Like, what if they did just, like, a super, like, dark, introspective, almost, like, DC vibe?
Again,
like, take
you
on
don't
the
have
character.
to make everything dark to make it good.
I know.
You don't have to go dark. And I think, like I've said, this is a problem with modern art, is it has to be, like, really dark and heavy. Like, we feel like it has to be dark and heavy for it.
Personally, though, I feel like making it dark to make it good is kind of a 2020 strategy. Like, it's a little outdated.
Well, maybe, but it's
years
what
ago.
everybody's been doing. Like, anything that's widely considered as, like, super good cinema or, like, hailed as this is an excellent film or really outstanding in this art form, like, has to be super dark.
We're looking at you, Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Well, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, but like Oppenheimer or Schindler's List, just the big, well-regarded
greats.
movies are all super dark anymore, it feels like. Like, everything is super heavy.
It's true. I do remember, we already mentioned Barbenheimer today, but when the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer were both coming out, it was like, if you have any real taste in cinema, you're watching Oppenheimer, and if you're just like a frivolous, like...
It's almost like the Kendrick versus Drake debate.
Oh, my.
Like, if you're intellectual and you care, then you're Kendrick, or if you're just some middle schooler, you like Drake, you know? But
it is really the same like case that people
Drake
make.
is super just chill and vibey and mainstream, and Kendrick is super heavy and intellectual, and I feel like not everything has to be heavy and intellectual. Like, it can be good without being heavy and intellectual, which is, you know, exactly what The Fall Guy is. That's why we love The Fall Guy so much.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
Such good cinema.
I actually almost got to watch that last night, but then I wasn't able to.
The Fall Guy is a genuinely good movie.
Womp womp. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Ryan
Or some
Gosling.
of it. That's a great movie. That's a really good movie. I loved everything about that movie.
Speaking of movies, I picked for us today Christopher Nolan as our director of choice. Mm-hmm. We have to pick... Really what we have to do is we have to identify what is the best Christopher Nolan movie. Okay. Now, I've not seen every Christopher Nolan movie.
Yes.
I've seen most of the new ones, though. I've seen... pretty much anything since Batman Begins, less Prestige.
So, you already know what my number one pick is.
No, I don't.
Inception. I love Inception.
I didn't know if you were going to say Inception, if you were going to say Interstellar, or if you were going to say The Dark Knight.
Well, The Dark Knight is not my favorite Batman. As, you know, that's a hot take that we might need to get into and unpack at some point.
That's a conversation for another day.
We'll talk about that maybe episode 3. We'll discuss Batman. But The Dark Knight is not my favorite Batman. Interstellar was annoying.
Interstellar was annoying.
Anne Hathaway.
Oh, So
You know.
because of her personally, it's
Because
annoying.
of her and just some of the things that happened were like, why did that have to happen? Like, I get that it advances the plot, but it's also hard to watch. But Inception was absolutely my favorite. Like, the story was really great. Everything about it was perfect. Like, every actor delivered an excellent performance. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio is definitely a phenomenal actor. Like, everyone in that movie did their job super well. Like, it wasn't super annoying. There was a couple moments with whatever that girl's name is, who became their architect or whatever, but she was kind of annoying at times, but it wasn't like anything super dumb happened. Like, it had some interesting underlying elements of like exploring maybe schizophrenia.
Inception, though, that's the one where the bus falls for like an hour of the movie.
It's a lot of tension though.
It's such a long movie.
Yes, it's long, but it was also like
Christopher
I was
Nolan-
actually on the edge of my seat for all 30 minutes.
Nolan being one of the greatest directors of all time,
Absolutely.
his biggest drawback, in my opinion, is
Friggin'
pacing.
long movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so long. Interstellar is also long, and Oppenheimer is so long.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours, isn't it?
Well, 3 hours is just an average Nolan film.
Yeah, I mean,
Oppenheimer, though, is definitely worth more of a mention than we've got so far, and I do feel like you passed over The Dark Knight too fast. But I'm gonna give it to Inception. We'll give it to Inception
is
today.
definitely the best. You know,
Now-
speaking of long movies, though, short films are also really great. I think we need to take some time to give a shout out to short films, because that's another thing. Like,
Just
movies
as an
keep
art
getting
form?
long. Like, everything that's like widely regarded as awesome anymore is super long. And I'm just like, this is a more recent thing, but like, Dune 2 was super long. Avengers Endgame was super long. Like, Interstellar, Inception, all these movies are like 3 hours long. Oppenheimer was like 3 hours long.
Ironically,
Shout out to short films.
coming into that kind of belief that like long films are good films, at the same time as the attention span has been shortened by TikTok, and we all want to watch super short videos that keep our attention super fast.
That might be part of it, yeah. That might be part of it. But these short films are starting to kind of get some traction on YouTube and stuff. Remember that Nothing Except Everything short film?
I do.
That was a really good one.
It was
I
really
really
good.
enjoyed that. And then those other like horror short films that I sent you the other day, those were really interesting. I think there's something really interesting about a short film where you take kind of the concept of a small picture, like just a small picture, like this is a moment in time, this is just a taste of the story or what actually happened at large, and you get to see a little bit of it. And it's kind of, I like maybe the creativity of it, where you have to, one, as the director or the whoever's making the short film, you have to fit a lot of story into a small time, or fit a lot of clues to the larger story into a small time, and also the creativity of it as the viewer to kind of build a greater world and context around it based on the clues that were put into the short film. So I'm a big fan of those, especially when
It's a
done
good
well.
medium. It's a good art medium.
There's also a lot of pressure on the actors themselves in a short film, because they can't lean on any of the like crutches. that a
And there's
normal
almost
film
no
can
time for
use.
development. They have to articulate all of the emotion so quickly.
Right. Absolutely.
I have another question for you.
What's that?
This is going to be a hard, just awkward transition. When you water plants, do you water your plants? Do you have plants that you water ever?
No.
If you were watering a plant,
I'm imagining.
imagine you were watering a plant. Maybe
Yeah.
you should water plants for your mom more often.
My mom doesn't have a lot of plants.
That's true. Our mom doesn't have a lot of plants.
We have the same.
Maybe
mom.
grandma. If
I
you
have
were
watered
watering
grandma's plants before. Yes.
would you water with cold water or warm water?
Whatever temperature the hose happens to give me.
Does it make any difference?
Does it happen to you? I've heard that it has, but I don't believe it.
You're
no.
at the sink. You're about to go out. I have this situation because we have like a little planter on our balcony at the apartment. When I go over to the sink and I'm filling up a glass to take out to water the plants, should I put it on hot or should I put it on cold?
I'm gonna say it doesn't matter. It's like
doesn't matter.
Maybe a lukewarm.
I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it mattered until today. The
Well-
water was on hot because Ella was doing dishes.
Right.
I come over and I put the cup under it and I'm like, I'm going to go water the plants. And she's like, how dare you water the plants with hot water.
Really?
She's like, would you want a glass of hot water on a day like today?
I am a little more interesting than a plant.
I was like, it makes no difference for the plant. There's no way it makes a difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
She said watering it with hot water on a day that's already so hot is like giving the middle finger to the plants. She said they need a
a plant, bro.
She said they need a cold glass of water.
They don't care. Think about it this way, Ella. Whenever you watch this, which you better freaking watch this show anyway, Ella. Think about the Amazon rainforest and all those lush, beautiful plants, and how it's super hot and humid, and the plants just thrive off of warm water in a humid, hot environment. Okay, this is not a middle figure to the plants. This is how they like to live. This is how greenery thrives, is with warm water. As a matter of fact.
But my plants are getting crisp, cold ice water.
And with that, folks, that has been episode 2 of the Alibi Pod.
We will see you next week.
Ciao.
Water your plants.
Water your plants.